Welcome to another episode of Crosstalk. My name is Kevin Tocci, and I'll be your host for this segment. What is this show about? We try to keep you up to date on a lot of things that are going on in and around the two communities that we proudly serve, Whitman and Hanson. And the topics vary, whether it's upcoming events, maybe it's issues within the community, getting to know people. Well, we're at that time of year right now where it's the holiday season, pumpkin spices everywhere. But just around the corner are the holidays, Christmas, and especially when it comes to the town of Hanson. I'm privileged today to be joined by two members of the Hanson Holiday Committee. We have Mr. Steve Amico, who is the chairman, and Mr. Bob Hayes, who is the treasurer. Gentlemen, welcome. I should say welcome back to Crosstalk, because I think you have been here previously.
Yes.
Thank you for having us, Kev.
Appreciate it, Kevin.
You got it. Just so folks know, maybe they're not aware, or maybe there are new people to town. I think that's who we're targeting, because I think the people who know about the holiday events that happen in Hanson, they've been probably at each and every one of the ones over the past 14, 15 years. Mm-hmm. If you will, tell folks a little bit how the Hanson Holiday Committee got started and how you got involved. We'll start with you, Steve.
Well, I got involved from the very beginning, and so didn't Bob, actually. But it was actually an idea of Rich Flynn, who was a former selectman. Him and I were talking one day and said, you know, let's do some sort of a holiday event, lighting a Christmas tree or whatever. And at that point in time, they were doing the septic system at the fire station, so they were pulling out a really, really big pine tree, and so they were replanting that on the town hall green lawn. So we said, be a perfect time for us to do a holiday tree lighting, and then we thought of the great idea of having fireworks. So we contacted a fireworks company and got a price, and we started 15 years ago doing fireworks at Christmas time. It kind of evolved into getting a whole bunch of restaurants involved and a lot of local groups that now they do activities for the kids. So when the kids come, they're not just going to be sitting there doing nothing, waiting for the fireworks. We have activities, stations for them to go to create things such as a couple of years ago they did hats, glitter hats. They did picture frames and a bunch of different items that for them to have activities to do. So it's really evolved into a bigger thing. We also have Santa Claus comes, and kids can take pictures with Santa Claus. Santa actually comes and lights the tree with his magic. So it's a fun time.
How has it changed over the years? How was the first holiday celebration on the Hanson Town Hall Green changed from the first one to the one that you have coming up in December?
Well, it's evolved into a few different things. Originally, when we first did it, we had a lot of local groups came and brought animals, Kevin. We had alpacas and all kinds of stuff. And there was a little bit of concern when we fired off the fireworks about the animals getting a little rambunctious because of the noise from the fireworks. And it did happen, and we were very concerned with that, and it kind of got phased out a little bit, and then at one point we talked about family hay rides, but so many people came that we couldn't, in the short time, because it's cold and everybody's outside, we couldn't continue any of that for the simple reason that not everyone could get on. And originally we blocked the streets, which became problematic. So. It's changed over the years. Some years, one year we had rain. One year we had to cut the ice to get the barge out in the town hall pond so we could shoot the fireworks. That was problematic. So as things have evolved, depending on the weather, we've had to determine how to change things. We had snow one year and we were wicked nervous. Probably the nicest year we ever had, because the snow and the fireworks gave it that white hue looking, and it was very, very nice. So it's changed. Every year it's challenging. We get there on the day of and keep our fingers crossed and just move on.
It's worth asking, you've both been involved since the inception?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You both are consummate community members. You volunteer at so many different things. Why, Bob? Why do you You are, and we can't just tie you to one event. If there's a need, you're there. Steve, if there's an event, if there's need, you're there. Why do you do it?
It's not really a question of why, Kevin. It's people come forward and say, hey, can you help us with this? And we get involved. We don't do it for each other or ourselves. We get involved. We have grandchildren. We've had our own children. And we just, it happens. I guess it's kind of like once you donate money, you get hit up every year to donate a little bit more. It's just the same way. And we were afraid if we stopped doing this event, once you stop an event, usually it's the end of it. It's the death knell of the event. It just doesn't happen. So we've had some challenges with it. We've tried to keep it a free event, Steve and the rest of the group. I mean, we have some other people that are consummate volunteers, whether it's the fire chiefs in town, the police chiefs in town. They're all great assets to have with us, and they do a lot. So there's a lot of good volunteers. It's not just Steve and I. It's just Steve and I happen to be the ones who come forward.
I get that, but I guess what I'm trying to get to here is I know that nowadays, if you look across communities, people aren't volunteering as much. And a lot of times they have core volunteers. I see you guys as core volunteers trying to build upon that to hopefully the next generation of volunteers, and kind of give a little behind the scenes as to why you love volunteering, because you guys love what you do, right?
I think part of it is that it's our turn to give back. The town has given us so much, and we look at it as it's our turn to give back to the town. The people of Hanson, the people of Whitman, they're all fantastic people, and it's something that we've always done. I mean, Bob and I used to run basketball, Hanson youth basketball, for many, many years, and we got away from it many years ago, and Hanson basketball is now merged with Whitman basketball, so there's no longer Hanson, youth basketball in town, or in-town basketball. It's now a merger of two of them. So, I mean, that's what I'm afraid of on this, is that if we walk away from this, that it won't continue on. Although we have some really, really fantastic volunteers on our committee. There's Chief O'Brien, there's Deputy Chief Barons, there's Sergeant Bierce, Amanda Hauk from Sullivan Funeral Home, Kevin Dykes from Hanson Highway, Bob, myself. Who else am I missing here? Bob. Laura Kemet has helped us tremendously on fundraising. Am I missing anyone, Bob?
If you are, I'm blaming you.
Okay, yeah, it's the way it should be. All comes down from the top. But yeah, it's and we've been able to continue to build it. Former Fire Chief Jerry Thompson was always active in this and staying involved, and so isn't Chief O'Brien.
Okay.
So,
Kevin, there's a huge amount of donors behind the scene that donate, and I'd like to.
Please do.
They want to remain anonymous, but without their donations, as Steve and I and the whole committee, we've tried to keep this a free event. And to keep it a free event, you have to get creative with fundraising. So unfortunately, we knock on the same doors as a lot of other people do, but the people of Hanson usually come forward, step up, and we've been able to continue to do it. And as you asked earlier, we've had a few hiccups. There's not even a question. We've scrambled many times the week before and to keep the event going.
right. Last year was one of the toughest years, when we were actually coming up about $3,500 shy of meeting the goal for our fireworks. We really needed some donations. Bob and I were going to step up to the plate and make sure that it went off, but we weren't sure it was going to continue on. And we had an anonymous donor that donated $3,500 to the Christmas, because that particular person had a very, very tough year, and she wanted to pay it forward. And it was her way of paying it forward. We don't know who the donor was. I know it was a lady. That's all we know. And but I thank her. And I thank the donors this year. We've had some very good donors. I mean, we've had Sullivan Funeral Home. We've had Ed Sheehan Corporation. We've had Ferries. We've had a number of other companies in the area who have donated, who are now making this event possible again. And but we still need donations for moving forward for next year, more donations for this year to, to supplement. We're looking for a DJ. Our DJs over the last couple of years have got gigs going on that particular day, so we don't have a DJ. And the DJs over the last couple of years have donated their 3 hours of time. So we're looking for DJs. If anyone is a DJ out there and you want to volunteer, please give me a call, 617-529-8444. We'd love to hear from you. The event is from 4 to 7. You don't have to get there at 4. You have to get there, we have to have everything set up by 5 because that's when Santa comes and lights the tree and everything. But the event itself will be open at 4 o'clock.
December 6th?
December 6th, yes, on Town Hall Green.
Okay. How early do you guys get started with the planning? I mean, again, you've been successful for, going on 15 years here. How early do you get this process started?
We meet pretty much year-round. As soon as the event's over in January, Steve will call a meeting to just wrap up what we did right and what we could do better with and how we could do better for next year. Then we meet every couple of months. We do a trunk or treat, which was pretty successful. This was our second year of doing it, and it raises some funding that way. And it's a Halloween event. It's been fairly successful. Tons of young kids. And we have some great volunteers. Alan Diaz usually comes and sets up a big display, and all the truck people, Sullivan Tire, all the local businesses have been very gracious to come forward and help, because as you know, in small towns, every single program you try to do involves one thing: funding. And without it, you wouldn't have this free event. This year, we're going to be selling a couple novelty items. We do run a 50-50 raffle that's been fairly successful. If anyone would like to pre-buy tickets that's not coming to the event, they can get a hold of me at 617-538-0189, or my email address is bobhayes4433@gmail.com. And the same thing, get a hold of Steve. We'll come to you, or you can come to the event that night. And again, you do not have to be there to win, and you cannot give back your winnings. So it seems to be sort of a cash influx to keep us going, to keep the event going. So we don't, because there's so many events that every single group in town is running. We try not to step on each other's toes. Right. We're all running different things for the same groups, children, families. And so, we try to keep it like there's a car show at Whitman Hanson Regional because we thought about doing that. Well, that's not a good, it's just, it's difficult.
You think about what's feasible.
Right.
Yeah, the true hard facts are, it all comes down. If you want a free event and you spend $6,000 for fireworks, you have to raise the money.
Right.
Somehow, some way.
Yep.
And that's about what it costs now, isn't it, Steve?
Yes.
$5,800.
$5,800.
$5,800 for the fireworks, and it makes the event.
Yep.
Because it's, who does fireworks the first weekend in December?
Right.
No one. We have people from surrounding towns, and they're all welcome, by the way.
Right.
Some people say, is this a Hanson-only event?
Nope.
Absolutely not. Nope. It's an event for everybody in December.
Right, so you don't have, so it's just, so people are clear, there are no police at the town lines stopping you. They're coming in from Whitman, they're like, let me see your ID, that they're okay.
Well, from Whitman, there might be, I don't know,
No, it's open. It's truly open to everybody.
Okay.
And it's a great event, and it's hot. It really is. At the end of the night, there's fireworks, and there's. So
let's talk a little bit, if we could quickly talk about the headliner. The headliner is the fireworks, Santa Claus. What are some of the other activities and performances? Is there anything different this year? Do you do anything to add a little tweak to it every year? or is it it's usually this is what the ingredients are, it's worked every year, we stay with it?
A little bit of both. We are working right now, and I don't really want to say what it is because I don't have a confirmation. I won't have a confirmation until maybe later on this week. But for all of the events and everything that's going on, please focus. Go to our Facebook page. It's Hanson Holiday Fest. You'll be able to find out. We'll have all the restaurants that are coming. We'll have a nice little thing on each restaurant that'll be there, and we'll do that on a daily basis or weekly basis leading up to it. All the volunteers that are coming, the tables that are going to be there. We do have something. I'm working on something right now with the high school to see if I can get something to happen with that. I'm not sure we can, depending upon the availability, but that's why I just don't want to mention a lot about it right now. But other than that, it's, we've had a lot of groups come to us and actually ask whether they could have a table there. This year we have Whitman Hanson Will, who's now added on. We had a couple of years ago, Hanson PTO has joined the group. Sullivan Funeral Home does a table with activities for the kids. There was another group there one year that was doing something with interactive with the kids, and I can't remember the name of the group. They were there one time, but it was more like of a mental stimulation type thing with the kids there. So there's something there for everyone, and it's just a fun event.
Well, let's talk about how residents and local businesses, how can they get involved, whether they volunteer, whether they donate, maybe sponsorships. How can these individuals get involved and help out make this a better holiday celebration this year?
Well, Kevin, all they have to do is get a hold of Steve or myself or the fire chief or the deputy fire chief if they want to come and set up a table or if they want to make a donation. Any of the above is all appreciated. And we want to remind people, because this has happened, the food is donated by all local restaurants. Right. And we've had a tremendous outpouring of people come. We run out of food. When the food is gone, it's gone. We have no way, because of donations, we have no way. We're not running a restaurant.
Right.
We've got pizzas, we've got mac and cheese, there's a whole bunch of different stuff, but we do run out every year. The good part is we don't throw any away,
right.
But we do run out.
It doesn't go to waste.
Yeah. Also, there's going to be, as there is every year, a spot to put if you want to donate to the Hanson Food Pantry, right. Where more and more every year, and this year including, there's a need right. for it. So if you will bring canned goods or non-perishable items, we will have a place for you to drop it, and then we'll have the Hanson Food Pantry, or we'll bring it up, whatever. But it's also an event for them
right.
too.
Yeah, the Hanson Water Department has volunteered to have a truck there and make sure that any of the food that comes in to be donated to the Hanson Food Pantry. I mean, that's a wonderful thing. We've done that the last couple of years. I believe one year we had pretty close to 100 pounds of food that was donated in there, which is great for a 2-hour event. So everyone out there, please bring your food, non-perishables. We'd love to have it for the food pantry, especially in these times where SNAP is on hold and people are suffering.
Yeah, we definitely make sure you check your expiration dates. Make
Correct.
sure. Well, I'll never eat this, and it's been sitting on my shelf for 4 years.
Right.
While it's nice,
yeah.
We want this to be something that someone is going to be able to
Correct.
enjoy if they're falling on hard times financially.
Yep. I do want to stress that we have our restaurants that we've already gotten confirmation from. A staple, Meadowbrook, who has been there every single year.
They do a great job.
Yep. Mike's House of Pizza, Connie's, Venus 3, Moe's. This year we're working on a couple of new restaurants in town, and hopefully we can get them to join in on it. And Damien's is another one. Domino's is another one who donates a lot of pizzas. And Liberty Pizza donated last year, and we're working on them for this year as well. So we have all the local restaurants are really chipping in, and it's great. Like I said, like Bob said, we ran out of food. We ran out of food last year at around 6:30-ish, somewhere right around there. So the food usually arrives around 5 o'clock.
It's when the event starts.
And I did miss someone. Pastor Chris from Calvary Baptist Church is another one, and the people of Calvary Baptist Church donate their time. They're the ones who are passing out the food. They're all brought in by these restaurants because, as you know, the restaurants can't afford to have people there because they're looking for help as well. So the church donates. All the people of the church donate their time to pass out the food. So this year, they're going to actually be setting up 2 15-foot tents. So we'll have a big area, 30-foot area, where we're going to have the food where everyone can come in and just kind of go down the line and grab something.
Knowing that this event has been going on for 15 years, I'm sure that you two gentlemen can recall some great memories, maybe some funny moments from past celebrations. Bob, you got to at least have one or two to share with the audience.
Well, there's been some actually really funny moments. One year it started raining, then it started snowing, and the kids were, as you know, behind the town hall, there's a little bit of a hill.
Oh, yeah.
They were rolling down the hill. Well, I wasn't paying attention. I didn't want to roll down the hill, but I ended up rolling down the hill in the rain and the snow.
Did you misstep?
Yeah, I got a little bit wet. I was like, oh my God. We had 1 year to 2 years, I can't remember, Steve, actually, where we after it snowed, we had a snow machine up on the roof that we were blowing snowflakes, and we had people actually coming over go, wow, it's snowing over the town hall, but it's not snowing over the middle of the event. And I'm going, oh boy. Yep. But there's been, like I said, the first few years when we had animals and we started shooting the fireworks off, that got a little bit chaotic. But we've learned, and the same thing, we had the bonfires that the fire department tried. Somebody got a little bit too close and a
jacket caught on fire.
Ember in their hood.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, yeah.
And but everybody's there. The fire department sends a whole bunch of people. The police, they couldn't be any more cooperative. I mean, we live in a great town.
Right.
And if anybody wants to volunteer, this committee is wide open. We would love to have some new young volunteers to come and maybe change it up. I mean, all you have to do is get a hold of Steve or I. We'd love to have somebody come aboard and say, hey, I've got a corporate sponsor. Hey, why didn't we think of this? Like, we tried the hayride. And the hayride was a great idea, but the event's so short, the people could get shut out.
Right.
And we're trying to make it so everybody gets a fair shake. Same as pictures with Santa Claus.
Right.
The line gets very long, and it's usually cold around December 6th. Mm-hmm. And we want to get everybody in, so we kind of push them along. Move along, guys, move along. We're not doing it to hurry you. We're doing it because Santa Claus is getting chilly.
Not only that, is we have to end it by a certain time so that we can have the fireworks go off, because you don't want Santa Claus to be sitting on Santa Claus's lap while the fireworks are going off. Want them to enjoy the fireworks as well. So I was doing it last year, and I felt like the bad guy when someone came up and said, I said, sorry, the line is closed.
Yeah. Move along, Ralphie, let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
So, that's part of it. We've had some other things with, I go up onto the Christmas tree every year, and
this is an epic story.
Yeah. I'll let Bob tell this one, because Bob was watching it, and I was just on the other end of it.
Steve goes up and fixes the lights on the tree and stuff, but neither one of us like heights.
Hate heights.
So Country Rentals always loans us a lift. So Steve's up in the lift, and the wind's blowing, and it's blowing the lift around, and neither one of us are too awfully excited about getting up in the bucket. And there's been a few mishaps with the lights, and we've had to in fact, this year we have to restring some of the tree lights because they stay on year round, and sometimes they get damaged. Lights are lights, but it's quite an event. It's entertaining to watch. In fact, in the next week or two, Or maybe it's this Saturday. Steve's going to
It's Saturday
be
the
down
15th.
there.
Yep, Saturday the 15th. I'll be up there, and
Brave.
and the wind was blowing that Saturday that I was up there, and the bucket was kind of swaying, and I'm not sure if it was the bucket swaying or my knees knocking together because I was so high, whether I was making the bucket sway. But yeah, Bob was saying some things down lower, and if I had something to throw at him, I probably would have thrown it at him. But
You check his knuckles when he gets down out of the bucket.
yeah.
I'm all right with that. I was laughing because there's no way I'm getting a bucket. There's a lot of things I'll do, but getting up in a bucket's not one of them.
No.
Let's talk about, have we missed anything in regards to this conversation? Anything that we've overlooked to share with folks about this annual event?
I don't think so, other than, maybe, everyone getting onto our Facebook page. You can go onto the Facebook page. You can buy your 50/50 raffles there. You can make donations. There are QR codes on there that you can do it. Again, we're going to be putting information out. We're going to be disseminating information on local restaurants and local people who are coming to have booths or a table at the event for activities for the kids to do while they're waiting for the fireworks. Alan Diaz, as Bob mentioned, Alan Diaz donates the firewood, the fire pits. He also has a huge trailer that he'll put a really nice decorations on for the night, and that's kind of next to Santa. I think it was the Grinch last year. I'm not sure what it's going to be this year.
It's a picture moment, right?
Right. Yeah. It's a moment that you can sit there and the Grinch comes. We have Frosty the Snowman shows up. So there's a whole bunch of different activities that happen during the whole event. Sometimes there's surprises to us when we have characters that just show up that weren't told to be showed up. That happened a couple of years ago, and we had to find out who they were because they're around kids, and it kind of makes it a little bit more difficult. But if anyone needs to get a hold of either of us, like I said earlier, you can call my cell phone, which is 617-529-8444. My email address is smeeko1@AOL.com. I know I'm old. I still have an AOL email address, but it works. And they can contact Bob at his information.
My cell number is 617-538-0189, and my email address is bobhayes4433@gmail.com. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, we are still looking for a DJ. I was thinking we volunteer Tachi and get the equipment.
Yeah, we can do that.
He's never been bashful behind a microphone.
No.
Yeah, well, not this year. Nice try, though. I'll give you an A for effort, but I can check some of my resources, see if I can help you in that way.
Perfect.
Last question I'll ask you, as we have just a couple of moments left here. What has this annual celebration meant not only to the town of Hanson, but to each of you, Bob?
It's just, it's good to see everybody get together and be in the holiday spirit and do their thing. I see tons of people that, as Steve alluded to, we have basketball for years, and I see these kids that are my kids' age coming with babies and 5-year-olds and 8-year-olds, and it's just good to touch base with some people that you don't see on a yearly basis, even though they live in town. Because, we all have busy lives and we just don't see them. So it's fun to reminisce some of the old football days and basketball days, and you get to see a cross-section of a lot of people in town, whether it's people that are younger or middle-aged or older that we just don't see like we used to see anymore. And it's almost a little bit of a town reunion type affair. So it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I have to agree with Bob on that, and I also want to say, Kevin, that it's a great family time. You get to see all of the people that you had, and you watch them grow up, and like Bob said, with their kids and stuff, and I think it's more of a community event, and it kind of brings the community together. But I get the ultimate joy that once it goes off, and you sit there and you go, another year down the books, and it worked. And I get to congratulate everyone on our committee and say, hey, you guys did a fantastic job. I'm just there. I try to MC it the best I can. And we just have a really good time and make sure that it all goes off great. And again, I want to make sure people go to our Facebook page, Hanson Holiday Fest, and you'll be able to get a lot of information there. There are QR codes that our Deputy Chief Barons has created. Don't ask me how you create it. I don't know where it goes, how it gets there, but he has that down pat, and you can go on there and you can make donations. A $1 donation is just as good as a $20 donation because every dollar counts. Every dollar goes to the holiday festival. Doesn't go to anyone. None of us get paid to do this. We're just doing this because we love our community.
Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you for stopping by, sharing the good word, and hoping that you have another successful holiday celebration at the Hanson Town Hall.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
Appreciate it.
You got it. I want to thank you for tuning into a program like Crosstalk. Again, if you have a chance, you're able to get involved. These gentlemen have shared their information during this program. And until our next conversation, have yourself a great day.